Okay, I was out hunting this morning and got a nice deer. What we're going to do is do a field dressing video this morning, and we're going to try to take you through every process of field dressing this deer. And then tomorrow we'll do another video on skinning, and then the next day we'll do one on processing the meat. This will get you from the field all the way into where you're eating this deer. And what we're going to do first is we're going to start at the rear end of the deer, get that ready to go. We're going to take loose the penis and the scrotum. I'm going to cut a circle around the anus, and that way when I split him up the middle here, I'll be able to reach up in and I'll be able to drag all the innards right out the back. And we'll show you that as we go. And this here is the anus right here. I'm going to hold that up in the air. And what you do is you get your knife right in here. Make sure you always have a sharp knife. Cut right around the anus, the skin, right like so. And then go in against the pelvic bone. You can feel that knife slide around there. And another thing I want to tell you is wear your latex gloves. Anyway, you can grab that anus and just cut around there like so. And I cut up in there. And what this does is this saves you from breaking that bladder wide open in there. And when you get ready to pull that loose, you'll end up having everything come right out with it. Now I'm going to spread his legs apart a little bit here so you can see. I've got his scrotum and his penis here. What I do is I grab the penis, make a cut right like so. And what that does, I'm gonna come down each side here. And with the doe, it would be the mammary glands. You'd have the mammary glands right in here. Just go ahead and take those right off of there. And I'm going to go right down the hip here. Right down the pelvis to where I cut. And you can see this scrotum and penis here. I'm going to cut that loose. And see how that just kind of falls back to the back, right like so. Just keep cutting it. Keep cutting it. And you can just throw that off to the side. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to split this pelvis right here. See how easy that is to split with your knife? Take that. And you got that. That'll help you lay your legs open a little more. What we're going to do is I'm going to split this up a little bit here to about here. And I'll show you as we go along what we're going to do as we go. But anyway, you grab this here, you just take and put your knife in here and make a little bitty slit. What you want to do is you just want to get through the muscle wall. You don't want to get into the guts. And here we are right here. You can see I've got the hole here. Here's his intestines. What you want to do is you're going up. You want to get your fingers in here like so. And you created a space right here. And you just take your knife and just go like so, and that'll cut right up. And I mean, if you got a sharp knife, it sure saves you a lot of work. And you can see how I'm holding that up, and I'm not getting into the guts there at all. And here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and hold that up. Just keep your fingers under there. I'm working from the side a little bit. I'm getting up to the bottom of the rib cage here. I'm hitting the sternum bone right here. You'll always know that when you hit that. Now, what happened here is we got a little stomach material. When I shot him in the shoulder, it angled down through. So when we get him home, we'll make sure we wash him out with a hose. We'll hang him up and wash him out. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to a bigger knife. This is a knife that I use for delicate work. And I could split this rib cage with that if I wanted to, but I want to go to a heavier type knife. I always carry a couple knives with me, but this is a heavier type knife. And what I can do is I can get in that breastbone and I can just rip that up. What you want to make sure is if anybody's helping you, don't have them stand right in front of you. And I'm going to rip this right like so. You see how easy that went? We're just going to keep going until we get all the way up. I'm not worried about saving the cape on this deer. This is a meat deer. And what we'll do is we'll split him right on up the throat. like so. And what you see is we got him all loose here now. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut loose the trachea and the esophagus. They're right here in the neck. You'll see them. They're very easy to find. Just cut that loose and pull that back a little. And now what we're going to do here, you've got everything opened up. You've got your heart, lungs, everything. And you can see right here this diaphragm, this meaty part. What you want to do is you want to cut all the way around that, just like so. So we're just going to go ahead and cut that loose. And what that'll do is we'll end up pulling that all the way out through the butt. Grab the esophagus and trachea and just pull it, and it should all come loose. Okay, what I'm going to do now, before I pull it loose, this is what I like to do. It makes for a nice clean job, is I like to take and split the pelvic bone. Now you can see the bladder is right here. I hold that down out of the way. I'm going to take and split that pelvic bone because I don't want anything in there. You got to go easy. Split pretty easy. And what happens is you split that and you'll be able to lay that wide open, and everything will come right on out. I'm getting the bladder off to the side here. There we go. We got that off. You see how easy that was? That bone is actually pretty soft. And here's your bladder right here. You could also take that and reach in and pull it out through the anus here. You pull the anus up through there if you wanted. But I find this is a much cleaner and easier way to do it. You take and put your saw back in your kit. I've got a kit that carries 2 knives and a saw here. Doesn't take up hardly any room in your ditty bag. Just like so. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get up in here. I might have to cut some diaphragm loose, but we got him pretty well loose up here. We're going to pull him loose. You're going to see how everything's going to come right on out. You see that? Everything's coming loose. And if it stays, it gets hung up on that diaphragm, just reach in there and cut around. This here deer's got a lot of blood left in him. And you just keep pulling. Just like so. And just keep that diaphragm coming. Keep working around that diaphragm. Just like so. When you get that diaphragm loose, then everything is going to come. And it's going to come loose right now. I'm going to take and pull that all loose, just like so. Just comes right out the rear end. You don't have any turds in there, you don't have anything. Now what we can do is we can pick this deer up and let it drain out the bottom, or we can turn him over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my knives out of the way because I'm done using them for now. I'll put them away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this deer over so I get all the blood out of that cavity. I'm going to spread eagle him out like so. You can put him over a log or anything. What that does is all that blood gets out of there and other crap. We'll just let him sit for a few minutes. And then my wife and I are going to drag him to the truck and hang him. And tomorrow we'll show you how to skin him.